谢谢大家，这个很高兴能见到大家，这个 Sunday afternoon， 我们花时间在一起。我想这个组织者想让我先讲的话，可能是想让我起个抛砖引玉的效果，而我们后面两位这个主讲的嘉宾铺砖引路吧。所以我的话呢，就是刚才讲，我基本毕业以后就创业，这样就想借这个机会呢，跟大家分享一下我自己的一个经验和一些从这创业上学一些经验吧。所以我就说这个 top 10 do's and don'ts for startups。既然我们今天都讲这个创业，我想。technical difficulty， 没关系，我用手来就好。这样创业，我想就想一下这个 entrepreneur 到底 what does it mean？ 每个人对他的理解都不一样。要从这个 Webster 上面讲的话，就是 someone who organize, manage, and assume the risk of a business or enterprise。实际上，我觉得这是很内的一个 definition。从我来觉得的话，个人定义就是 entrepreneur 就是一个 someone who starts something out of nothing。Right？ 你说就是说你可以在 Intel、IBM、Google 去上班，但一般的话呢，你希望 have some existing business， 然后你要做得好的话，你把这个 business 来 grow。So entrepreneur 的话呢 ，literally start from an idea maybe， 但完全是这个白手起家来 create something out of nothing，which is a very interesting and unique experience。当然了，就是说你要想做这个事的话，就是你可以有很多这个很 common 的 characteristics，to be a successful entrepreneur，the creativity, leadership, perseverance, and so on and so forth。从我个人角度来讲的话，我觉得这个做 entrepreneur 这个是一个很 rewarding 的一个experience 的话呢，实际上它是 one of the key thing is the creativity， 可以说是创新。这 creativity extend much more than technical 这个 breakthrough。你从这个 business 角度，从这个legal 角度，从各个角度，你们都可以就是因为你要 create something out of nothing，you have to think outside the box。这个的话，我觉得是一个很 rewarding 的 experience。所以说的话呢，就说这个 top 10 reasons 实际上是 I think first thing first 就是 do know yourself well and don't start for the sake of starting。就是说 startup 实际上是很 special species I call it。Right? It may not fit you well. Working nothing wrong to work for Google and Intel。但是的话，就是你要创业的话，就是你确实要知道，就是说 ，this is really what you want to do。刚刚这个赵阳讲，就是你要想回国创业 ，the why do you want to do it? Don't do it because other people are doing it. You do it you better have a very good reason to do it the way you want to do it. Right? That's number one. Number two is that do have a founding team and do not start by yourself. 实际上我第一个公司的话是我自己开的。Actually, I had great time during that time. Okay, and I made tons of mistakes without knowing it until much later. Right? 因为的话，如果你没有founding partner 的话呢，实际上就是个 check and balance。就当时我说 had great time 的话，几乎我想做什么做什么。这个 investor 也不是说过来，但是you have a great time. But at the same time 的话，就是你可能make a lot of mistakes。然后如果你有 partner help you to give you some honest feedback 的话呢，使你少走很多弯路。我觉得这个是从 founding team 来讲，而且的话，一般 founding team 我们的人层面 have too many of them， 因为这个at the end of the day 就是你要 execute。Right? 所以说，你看真正成功的公司的话，一般就是2-3个 co-founder 在一起，他们的 skill 是 complementary， 这样子的话呢，能形成一个团队把这个事情做成。这是第二点啊。第三点的话呢，就说这个do have a product with a clear differentiation and do not follow the hot trend。实际上我现在时间比较多，经常 serve 这个 panel 啊。实际上我最忌讳的一个问题就是这些 What do you think is going to be what's hot That's well, whatever is hot is not the area you want to do. 实际上，你要从创业来讲的话，你想做的东西，实际上是你是希望3年5年以后变成了 hot。你现在一般的 hot area 的话呢，往往已经是过时了的，几乎是肯定是已经过时了，就2、3年以后的话。所以吧，真正重要的话还是做到前2点，就是 follow your passion， 对，这个不要随大流，就有一个 independent thinking。So when you start, you know， 很多人的话都想，呀，我怎么找钱啊？我怎么这个找 VC 谈呀，诸如此类的。实际上my recommendation 就是这个 focus on your product and your customers。当时 Intelligent 开始之后，就 we're very lucky， right？ 就是说at the time， 就是说我们大概3个星期的话拿了6个 term sheet， 当时就说哇，就 what do you do？ 哎，你怎么那么 lucky 啊？怎么 what happened？ The real story is that before we talk to any VC, we spent 6 months talking to customers, fine-tuning our strategy. And actually, we talked to 14 customers around the world, which actually helped us refine our business plan before we talk to the VCs. So when we talk to the VCs, all the questions they asked, we thought through. It's actually none of the questions really surprises me. 像我现在看到有很多 entrepreneur 的话，就是特别 eager 去跟 VC 交流。哎呀，那我跟 VC 谈谈看他们反应如何。Well, actually, that's the wrong approach. Why? Because if they know more than you do, then you shouldn't start a company. Because 他们就是 VC, they are great people, they're very smart, but they have a very wide, broad area they can cover. Where as an entrepreneur, 就是你是个 laser, which you focus on one specific area and one specific product. If you don't know better than the others, then you should think again. 所以说的话，就是一定要 focus on the product, focus on the customers, and worry less about the investor and how to raise money. So, I think once you've done the first part, the second part becomes easier. 第5点的话就是 do quit your day job before fundraising. 因为这个我见到很多这个 entrepreneur 找我说呀，这个有 great idea， 给我讲的很 passionate， 很 energetic，right？ 我说实话，我不是你的 domain expert， 说 sounds very good。我说哇，你现在 what's your job situation？ Wow, as soon as I raise money, I'll quit my job. As geez, if you so much believe in your vision, why couldn't you quit your job and do it full time? Take risk. Well, by the way, 我第一个 startup 是我是毕业以后就开始的，就所以说 that doesn't count. But the first, second, third, I always quit my job for a few months, right? Before I really get funded. So, 你从另外角度讲，你想找 VC 融钱的话，那 VC their risk is putting the money, so they want yours some skin in the game. If you can take, if you don't have confidence in yourself to quit your day jobs, how are you going to instill confidence in themselves to invest in you? So, to my knowledge, I'm not aware of any startups got funded where they still had a full-time job. Right? The other way to think about it is that startup is actually a very hard process. Right? If you can do it part-time, then probably it's too easy, right? Or you're super smart. So if you quit, I think it's a commitment that you have to give. Now, let's assume you have spend 6 months or whatever length of time to get you started, and you did get funding from the VCs. Then what? Right? The next thing you should really focus on is the company DNA. Really from day one, and do not compromise 这个 quality by quantity. 这个的话就是回到我这个自己的经验的话，实际上我们当时是 plan for 6 months fundraising. We just happened, done in 3 weeks, and run close in 2 months. But once you close the run, you 这个 cost start ticking, right? 那个时候的话，我们当时跟一些朋友啊，什么都讲说啊，我们现在开始要开公司，我们有没有兴趣？他都有兴趣，我们可能要6 months。当时我们是6月份开始， 比如说大概年底的时候可以这个 close funding， 可能1月份一起来上班怎么样？大家说 we have pretty good consensus， 就我们8月份就 close 了。那几个月实际上是 very critical time， 因为的话我们又要出国，又没有人，然后 as part of the startup, there's a whole bunch of other things you have to take care of. So one thing we really did right is we really stick to our gun. Say, hey, here's the 5 people we try to hire, which is we believe the top 1 percentile, and obviously there's certain obligations. I think we get probably 3 of them initially, and then eventually the 5 will join. That kind of sets the foundation for the company in multiple ways. 第一点的话，这个5个人的话，不光是 technical 很强，就我们的 personality chemistry， 这个都是很 consistent. That's basically sets the foundation for the company for the following years. And secondly， 就说因为这几个人的话呢，在业界的话，大家都 very respect。实际上，等我们找到这5个人以后的话 ，actually from 5 to the first maybe 30 people, we really didn't spend much time recruiting. It's more of people heard about it. Oh, we started a company. Say, oh, this person joined the company. So, oh, he's very smart. And that person joined the company. Once you have a bunch of smart people getting together doing the same thing, everybody wants to join in. So it actually makes the recruiting process very easy. Well, relatively much easier for sure. 因为我们做的是这个RF mix analog， 在硅谷的说找人很难找，但对我们来说的话，we really never had a problem hiring people in that specific place, with that specific skill set. 所以说的话，就是这公司的 DNA 和公司这个员工的 quality 是 the most important. Right? At the end of the day， 这个不管 VC 也好，这个 they all invest in people, right? 下面的话就是 have a clear strategy. So what does strategy mean? The strategy is not to decide what to do. Strategy to decide what not to do. 我见了很多entrepreneur 说，哇，我这产品怎么好？我说 OK, great. 说我可以 use from, I can use from A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I says great. So what are you gonna do first? Because I'm gonna do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. But that's obviously a wrong strategy. 对，就是说你有一个产品也好，就是说it might be true you can apply to all those areas, and you can all make money out of those areas. The key is where you get the most money out of it. You can only do 1 or 2. 实际上就I'm very fortunate， 就是说后来的话，那个 Larry 和 Larry 就是 Sendus 这个 founder， 就很不错，有一个 advice。他给我第一次见面，他给我说了，我就一直记住，我想跟大家 share 一下。他说什么 ？If you can do 2 things good, do 1 thing great. Same thing apply here. Once you 因为的话，实际上是你在做 plan 这个 strategy 的时候，在decide what not to do 的时候，实际上 that's the hardest time because you can make money doing E, F, G. 但你不去赚那个钱，你去赚你想赚的钱，或 serve 某个 market segment, that's the hardest process. But once you get it figured out, then more likely your strategy will be clear than the others. Right? 下面的话就是 you do listen to your customers carefully, but do not follow your customers completely. That's it's very important. 因为我也看到很多做 technical 的话，就 mostly focus on technology. Hey, how my product is better and so on and so forth. But what does it mean to the customers? Right? You have to talk to your customers and to validate your idea. It's valuable to them. Right? At the same time, you cannot follow the customers completely for a number of reasons. Right? 因为一般的 customer 哈给你的 feedback 都是 their immediate needs in the next year or next 12 months or next 24 months at most. 然后你要做一个 startup 哈，一般要3-5年以后才能成功。Right? So you have to look way beyond what the customers you're engaged with. 再一点的话呢，就是说一般来说，你跟 customer engage 的话 ，the level of the level of their experience may be limited, right？ 这个时候啊，就是他的 vision， 就是说 you had to， 我并不是说他的对或者是不对 ，you had to make assessment， 就是他给你的一个 feedback， 到底对你的这个公司是好还是不好。对 ，very specific。现在我是involve一个 startup， we have made decision to make investment。现在有一个台湾公司说，就特别想跟他们合作，想他们做一个东西。My recommendation to them is don't do it, because 这个东西对那个台湾那个客户的话，对那个 specific 客户的话呢， actually is well aligned. It will help them getting started. 但是你 take a step back, go to the whole market segment 的话呢，实际上 that's the market sector that's has less value or maybe too crowded, right? Versus there's other customers now they're engaged with. I think they can provide much bigger value in the long term. 所以这个是就是说，第一点是一定要跟 customer engage。这是 even if forget about second point, listen to you point you in the right direction. 第二点的话，如果有 listen to the feedback from customers, also have a critical thinking, right? Make sure understand what does it mean to you as a new company. So the last thing is just strive to be the best in whatever you do. At the same time, don't be perfect. 就是说，就是我讲，就刚才讲的，说是 if you can do two things good, do one thing great. So whatever you do, 就是 you have to be the best. 因为我这个当时说，就是说，经常就是说，哎 ，what's hot? No, what you do is well, it really doesn't matter. If 比如说生化很好 ，I'm personally very interested, but I know nothing about it. Right? 就是 I can't do anything. Right? 就是you have to focus on core competence and be the best in whatever you do. 就是这个 I think that's very important. 就是千万不要就是说这个随大流里面，随大流的话，if not 10 out of 10 times, 9 out of 10 times will be wrong. If you have a critical thinking, you're given, I'm sure 能进北大都是不容易的。所以 without IQs, your critical thinking, I think that's give you better chance of to be successful when you start your company. I think that's very important. Lastly, to have fun and enjoy the process. 这个实际上你看创业的话不是一个 logical decision, it's an emotional decision, it's a passion. 因为就是你要是把这个 pros and cons 再加上你这个 weight 放在一起的话，实际上是 nobody should start company, right? 如果我要知道 what we have gone through intelligent or any of the three companies I revolve with, I probably will not start. Right? 这个的话就说 but the reason you start is not because your logical reason, it's actually because your passion and your vision. So if you enjoy the process, what to lose? Right? You got funding, you got a job, worst will come worse. You find another job, or start another company, or find another job in the corporation. And in Silicon Valley, to start your company is a badge of honor. It's nothing to be ashamed of, even if you fail. Not to mention if you're successful. Right? 所以说的话，我基本上就是这样，我想起个抛砖引玉的过程，然后我知道一会儿我们有 Q&A， 有什么问题我们可以一起聊吧。好，谢谢。